This is what happened with Napoleon with a horde of bunnies. Napoleon Bonaparte was only 9 years old when he became the youngest general in the French army. His keen mind helped him rise quickly through the ranks, and within 6 years, he'd been appointed commander of the French army in Italy. The war against Austria, which was then led by Napoleon's elder brother Joseph, did not go well, however, and after 2 years of fighting, Napoleon finally took matters into his own hands. Literally. He personally led an attack on his brother's headquarters in Mantua, defeating Joseph's soldiers and forcing him to surrender himself as a prisoner of war. What happened? It was a close call for Napoleon Bonaparte, who was almost assassinated by a horde of bunnies. The would-be killers were foiled, but it was a close call. If the bunnies had been just a bit faster, or if Napoleon had just been a bit slower, history might have been very different. Napoleon may not have won at Waterloo, but it caused the Great French Revolution to happen. We know things went differently because a few months later, on June 18th in 1804, on his 39th birthday, Napoleon ordered his troops to go to Paris and depose King Louis XVIII from power. They marched through Paris without much opposition and easily conquered the city. Louis XVIII fled to Belgium, where he remained until his death 2 years later. As soon as he seized control of France, Napoleon began working towards an empire spanning across Europe onto North Africa. His coup in France set off what we now call the Napoleonic Wars, which spanned most of the 19th century. The backstory. In 1804, Napoleon Bonaparte was on his way to becoming Emperor of the French. He had just crowned himself, and was riding in a lavish procession through the streets of Paris. As he passed by, a group of rabbits began following him. The crowd laughed and thought it was cute. But Napoleon was not amused. He ordered his troops to shoot the rabbits. They did as they were ordered, but the rabbits kept coming. Finally, Napoleon's guards were able to chase them away. Nobody knows what drove those rabbits to follow Napoleon so persistently. There are many theories, including that they smelled an animal nearby, or that they were looking for food after hibernation. Whatever the reason was, this would have been a terrifying moment for Napoleon if one of those animals had managed to bite him. The plot. It was a close call for Napoleon when he was nearly assassinated by a horde of bunnies. The evil plot was foiled at the last minute, but it could have been disastrous. This incident just goes to show that you can never be too careful, even when it seems like there is no danger. You'll always want to make sure you're aware of your surroundings and know what's going on around you so that if something bad happens, you'll be ready. There are some great tools out there now that help keep people safe in all kinds of situations, like the personal alarm or this GPS tracker. These devices can really come in handy, especially if you don't feel comfortable letting go of your phone while traveling alone or while walking home late at night. Too bad this wasn't available back in the Napoleon days. This could have prevented a lot of pain and strife. The aftermath. The attack on Napoleon by a bunch of bunnies was a close call. Luckily, he was able to escape unharmed. The motives of the bunnies are still unknown, but some believe they were acting on behalf of their owners who were upset about Napoleon's treatment of them. This theory is supported by the fact that the bunnies stopped attacking once Napoleon agreed to improve their living conditions. His army started training all of the troops in various forms of fighting maneuvers as well as other skills so that this situation would never happen again. Once the bunny uprising had been quelled, a state of emergency was called, and all rabbit owners were required to report their pets for identification purposes. Anyone caught owning more than one rabbit was imprisoned until further notice. Napoleon stated at a press conference, "In order to protect our fellow citizens from these potential threats, we must act quickly." As our video shows, rabbits can be highly dangerous and should not be approached by anyone. If you see one outside, do not try to pick it up or give it food. Be sure to report any sightings to your local police station immediately so that they can come deal with it. It is also important to note that under no circumstances should you allow your rabbit to roam freely. Don't forget to like, comment down below, and subscribe.